What's up, guys? I'm sorry I didn't do a video yesterday. I was doing a lot of things. One of them, I went to the junkyard and I got a new door for my car, which I'll be doing a video on it tomorrow to make up for yesterday's video. But today, I will be installing BC coilovers on my car. Finally got the top of the line quality coilovers in my car. I always wanted to have one of these and I finally got it. They are not brand new coilovers, but these are the set that came out of the 1000 horsepower Driftcar, which is an E36, so I ended up having to get different mounts for the bottom, and also the top had to be changed. The rear are gonna be true coilovers. It's not gonna have the separate spring and shock. I know I will have to reinforce the strut mounts, but that's already underway. I'm getting plates done, and I'm gonna be reinforcing the strut towers so it doesn't rip out with a true coilover setup. But like everything, even though I got a used part for my car, I don't want to install it like that. I want to make it look just like new, so I'm going to take them all apart and clean all the parts, so I'll have like a brand new looking and perfectly assembled coilover set for my E36. I figured I'd do a pretty cool time lapse taking it apart, since probably the taking apart the coilover video wasn't too entertaining if I went step by step. But now I'm gonna show you guys different components on the coilover one by one, and then I'm gonna clean them and then lube them up so I can reinstall them and it's all nice and finished. There was a lot of dirt on this, so I'm glad I took them apart so I can like have everything moving freely and no parts are like having too much friction and make noise or like don't work properly. This is the shock absorber itself, and I didn't remove the rings, so I already know where I want them, so I'll keep this. I'll definitely be cleaning the threads up. Then I got the lower bracket. This will bolt on, this part bolts on to the bottom of the knuckle. I got 4K springs for the back, so I have a lot of like squat on the back, so when I get on power, the car has more suspension travel and grips better. This is the dust boost for the shock, so no trash gets in the piston and the seal. You got your bump stop, so when the shock bottoms out all the way, it hits this and it doesn't have a mechanical bump on the piston itself. There's this little ring that goes right here that you gotta make sure to put back, and then the actual bracket locks into that thing there, so it keeps it together. If you don't put that back in there, it will not work right. These are the spring seats. It's like a ABS or nylon plastic thing, so it goes as a liner on top of this ring, so that you don't have metal to metal contact and it slides freely. You have your damper adjustment knob. With this, it moves the little piston inside the coilover and it can adjust the stiffness of the shock absorber. This is a special part. This is my this is my offset top hat for the true coilover, so it moves the shock a little out of the way so it has more clearance and it doesn't hit against the wheel well. Then over here we have the spring top hat. This holds the top part of the spring. That explains the rear section of the coilovers. Now I'm gonna show you guys the parts for the front. Basically the same as the rear. These are the front shocks. The piston, you can tell, is always a little thicker. The top hat of the spring is different. It also has a bearing inside so it can rotate. That way when you spin the wheel, when you turn the wheel, the shock moves and it twists the spring, so it has this little bearing here, so it has smooth movement. Got the bump stop, dust cover, the spring. I'm running 8K springs in the front right now. I kind of want to switch over to 6K later. bottom nylon bushing. The top hats are for E36. Then you got your damper adjustment knob, and also the plates are camber adjustable, so you can adjust the camber on the front with those. These are the top hat lower bracket. This is where goes the shock, and then from this bolt you bolt on the top hat plate to adjust camber. Then what I got to convert from E46 to E36 as well is the E36 lower bracket. You can see it has a 3 bolt instead of just 1. This is like the only brand new piece on my coilovers. After I clean everything up, I'm ready to reassemble. One of the things you need for that, I use a nylon wire brush, and some of the times I also use a brass wire brush since it won't scratch away the paint on the coilovers. Now I'm actually greasing up the sliders. I'll show you guys how I'm doing that. Here's the top slider. So this spins around, has a bearing, but then also the spring rides on this. So what I did, I cleaned it all up and I put a little bit of grease here so this can actually have smooth movement on this and it doesn't get stuck. That way when the spring wants to move, whatever, it can just smoothly rotate with everything and doesn't get stuck. Same thing on the bottom. I will put a little dab of grease, just a little bit like this. This has very light coat, you don't want it to get everywhere. Then put it on here. Now again, it's also a smooth operation. As you can see on this one, I got a little bit over excessive grease. I'll just wipe this right off. Now we'll start by assembling the rest of the pieces. Next, I will put, I'm sorry. Next part will be the bump stop. Goes right here. Has a little like big open side, goes to the bottom, and a flat part goes to the top. Then you install the dust boot. Make sure to put it all the way to almost the beginning of the treads. And there. Now let's Now we're gonna install the springs. I am using 8K springs. You will notice this is the last digit on the big number on the side of the coil. Always the numbers are gonna face the right side up. Now I got my already assembled and pre-lubed top hat. And then now goes this pillow bowl part, goes right here. Also you can see it has a bigger bore in here, so this part goes straight on there. And then also the nut is special, which also goes into the bore, that way it has room so it can swivel around. Has my little impact gun, it doesn't go too tight. And there we go. This part now completes the spring part of the coilover. So I got shock, locking rings, collar, I got the spring, bump stop inside, I got dust boot, I got the top plate, and I got the top bracket also. Now I gotta put the camber plate on. Before I forget, I gotta install the damper adjustment knob. So like this. Then you thread it on. Last but not least, we got the coilover top hat. I'm going to install this right in the middle. Since I don't know what my camber adjustment's gonna be like. So the same thing, I'm just gonna use a little impact gun. I'm not gonna tighten it too hard, just like snug for now. Now we install the lower bracket. And turn and turn and turn forever. And there. Now one of the coilovers is fully installed. Or one of the coilovers is fully assembled now. Now I got the front coilovers assembled. Both of them are the same height, already ready to install. But now I'm gonna go ahead and assemble the rear coilovers. I got the rear coilover. First thing I'm gonna do is install a lower seat, which I will be greasing up, like same way I do with other ones. Just put a little bit of grease in this, smudge it all up, and install. Now it's smooth operation again. Next we're gonna put the bump stop. Again, with the open side goes to the bottom. Also just put some low road in this stuff too. Boop. Now I got this. Wait. Alright, next goes the dust boot. I got this little ring thingy. I don't know if you guys can see it properly. It doesn't focus right away, but this little ring is very important that you put it back on. There we go. Ring is installed now. When you put this part on, it will sit on that little ring. So without that, it's just like it will just move up and down. So you need to put the ring so it stays on there. Next will be the spring. I'm running 4K springs on the back so I can have a lot of squat. These are also long travel springs. They are longer than the traditional spring because I want more stroke so I can get my car to just like bottom out, like have a lot of travel and just squat. Preferably my goal would be to have three-wheeling action. Three-wheeling action, just like Von getting, you know, these guys where they're drifting and the front wheel lifts up the ground, it's like a trophy, so it's like all twisted. That would be my goal to do that, but it's really hard to do. I need really sticky tires and I need a lot of grip for that. Also, I need to install a really stiff front sway bar. And maybe even remove the rear sway bar so I also twist more the car. Or twist the car a little bit more. Next, lube up the upper ring. And install it on the top ring thingy. And that's on there. Now, next I gotta install the lower bracket or the lower fitting seat for the shop. Now that's where my offset hat is gonna go in now into that thing, which this part goes into this. Now it will allow it to swivel around. Then last, you got the nut with the sleeve as well. And you tighten it together. That's the upper portion of the coilover. Now I gotta install the lower bracket. And this takes forever and forever, which I don't want to put on camera because you guys get bored to death. It's done, yes! It took forever, but now my coilover is fully assembled. This is a true coilover BMW Motorsports, custom made by BIGBOOST for the E36. I originally made it for the E46 on the Driftcar, but now it's going on my car because it's the same on the back. These are the same coilovers that were installed on the 1000 horsepower E36, and you guys could see that the car ran awesome with these. So now I can't wait to see what they will feel like on my car. I forgot to install the damper adjustment knob on the rear shock. Now it's complete. After all that hard work, now I got almost brand new looking coilovers again. Like, it just has a few scratches and stuff from being on the car, but other than that, they're perfect. Now I need to put the car up in the lift so I can remove the wheels and get started. Remove the front wheels first. On the front coilovers, literally, all that I'm doing is I gotta remove 3 bolts. There's this bolt here, one on the other side, and then this crossover bolt. After I do that, then I gotta remove the top 3 bolts on the top hat. I'll start by removing the 3 bolts on the bottom. First is this one. These are very tight. I've lowered the car and now it's time to remove the top mounts. Make sure to hold it from the bottom because if not, it will fall. Again, I run into some issues. I need to get more parts, but I can still install it like this, but it's not the recommended way. I'll show you guys why. I thought that the coilovers that Liz already got were E36 top hats, so I replaced them. And I got the E36 top hats, but they turned out to be E46. So you can see, look where this bolt is right here, aligned with the center of this. And then on the E36, it's supposed to be all the way over here. Now the splines will fit, the bolts fit on the holes, but then I won't have camber adjustment properly. Instead it will be like offset. But if I put it on the center, I should be okay for now. I just won't be able to adjust camber until I replace for the right plates. On another thought, check out the difference of the quality of the BC kit. Is so nice, everything's shiny and coated. These are the old kit that I had on there for now. I don't know what brand those are. But I also lowered the car. It was pretty low, and then I went about like half an inch lower. If I straighten this up, probably it shows better, but it's really stiff. So I can't wait to install this now and see what it looks like. I just put the top hat on there and you can see now what I was talking about. So now the camber is like a little crooked instead of being the right way. This is okay for now since I have a 0 out. The shock is right in the middle, but I will be getting a replacement part. Just gotta see if they have them in stock. I must admit, this really looked good, especially after I painted the strut towers and I have shiny new coilovers. It definitely looks great. To install a lower part, I'm gonna have to do it with the car almost at the ground, and I'm gonna have to use a jack to lift up the lower control arm so I can put the bolt through this thing. After I lower the knuckle up, I can slide the bolt through this thing. Now it will hold in place. Now I gotta do the other side. Then it's pretty simple because now that holds the height. So now I can just, all I have to do later is just install the lower bolts. The bolts that go on the lower part of the bracket require a red thread locker. So apply a little bit on them. But like that. And reinstall. Decided to put the wheel back on and test fit the height. This is the height that I got now without even dropping the car on the floor. Can't wait to see what it looks like. Now that I installed the front end, I gotta move to the back of the car. There's now attempting to remove my wheels. Now you're making it too easy with that. You gotta do it by hand. I'm just kidding. So now can you hold the wheel up? So it's not too heavy for you? What happened? I thought you said you had it. What are you doing?
Why is it doing that?
I don't know. You took all the lug nuts out?
Why is it doing that?
Wait. Oh my.
Why did it do that?
I don't know. The wheel was just on there. There was nothing holding it. Just, I think you weren't like doing it strong enough.
Whatever.
I asked if you could handle it.
You did something. You rigged it.
Let's see, what do we have here? We have cut springs and then some like broken up chuck and stuff. So I really can't wait to remove all this stuff and put some quality components on this car. We'll begin by removing this bolt right here that holds the chuck in place, and everything should lower down. Now it's going to assist me again with this. Now we're like, I thought you said you had it. What's happening?
Something's wrong with all these.
No, you know what you need?
These nuts.
Oh my God, that's not what I was gonna say. Why do you say that? Oh, I don't even know why you even said that. I was gonna say you need some boost, but why would you say that word? That's not what you were supposed to say. You know what? You know what happened? I got you now. You said it. You said it. Yes, I got you.
Whatever.
Now watch out, that thing might drop on you. Get out of there.
Wait.
You should do it from the side.
What's gonna drop? The spring?
The lower, the whole arm will swing down once you do that.
Alright, you take over.
Alright, now we got the bolt out. It did not drop on here, it's right here. Now I want it to lower a little bit more. Now we'll get the spring off of there. There you go. And this thing also got out of the way. We don't need this. And this stays just like this. All I'm working with is gonna be the shock area. Now we need to do the same thing on the other side. Then lower the car down and remove the top hats. This is what came out of the rear, these shocks. I don't even know why is there like cord or like, there's rope on my shocks. Like, why would anybody put rope on here? Is that like a thing people do? At least they're not blown. They like are not coming back up, okay. I'm not gonna install the rear coilovers. I'm gonna put in from the bottom, and I was gonna put the nuts from the top side.
Thanks for the hardware.
You just grab the nuts. Alright. This is how that true coilover looks like. There's no spring over here, so the spring is all in the shock now. That's why it's called a true coilover conversion. Doing it like this also allows us to go even lower. It goes so low that sometimes you have issues with a lower or upper control arm hits with the chassis. So that means it will literally have to compress the spring all the way past the normal limit to go even lower. On this one, I'm gonna do it with Nabo's help as well. I'm gonna lift up the knuckle, or lift up the whole arm, and then he's gonna slide the bolt through. All right, now we'll go from underneath. You need some big boost for this.
Oh, good.
Alright, now that the bolt's in, all you have to do is just put that bolt on and the whole coilover conversion is complete. Now it's ready to accept the wheels and see what height do we have and then see if this is good enough. The right adjustment right now is the same that we had on the E36 race car. I did not change the adjustment, but we might be able to go lower on my car. On the E46, this was like all the way over here, but I still got all this room to go. We'll lower the car from the lift and it's so low that it doesn't even like go all the way down because the lift now doesn't fit. I'm gonna have to jack up the front, remove the left arm, and then see how low it actually gets. This car looks ridiculous. It's a perfect height how I wanted it. It's like maybe a finger and a half right here on the front, and then the back is like tucked in. One thing that I really like about drift cars is that they have to be lower in the back than the front. I really don't like when the car's like higher in the front and just like the back and just swings all over the place. By having the center of gravity towards the back axle, it actually gets you more grip and more control while drifting. This thing just looks amazing. I can't believe this is my car now. Now we have engine, suspension, the wheels are pretty good. The interior is coming together. What's next? It's time to end the video now. Be sure to smash that like button and subscribe. There's plenty of more videos coming up from this car. Once I'm done with the build, I will also be drifting with the car. And I'm about to start working on the 2JC probably next week. And also, if there's also other videos that you would like to see about the build progress, be sure to check other videos in my playlist. I'll see you guys tomorrow.